So yeah, the Boeing 747 SCA, an iconic aircraft. Today we're going to talk about its history. Here's the coming soon video, I promise you. Enjoy. So, the entire reason the SCA was in the first place is kind of a little obvious. It was made to carry the shuttle around. And it was first NASA did some tests on the B-52. But when the main shuttle design came, they had to strap it to the 747. NASA at first weren't really sure about this idea. Why, you may ask? Because they actually did know the risks of launching a space shuttle of a Boeing 747. Boeing had to really make the structure better, and also had to cut down on their design by, guess what? You might hate what I'm about to say. Adding more stabilizers which have no rudder on them. And also it needed an incredibly high takeoff speed. It was, and even if you tie the literal aircraft is very easy to stall at 200 knots. It's so easy to stall, in fact, that this thing might even have needed bigger wings, but luckily it didn't. And it's also very hard to operate. And this aircraft had actually previously flown for American, okay? There's a Boeing 747-100. And another one was from Japan Airlines, but we're focusing on the 747-100 from American today. By the way, I'm using a GFS thing. So, here is the outside, and you can clearly see the stabilizers. And also, here's the cockpit. Not very realistic, but, you should understand. This is a very obvious Boeing 747 cockpit. I can even tell. By the way, most realistic thing in the world, probably. I mean, look at this. Anyway, shuttle carrier was also put into aspects since when NASA were looking for airplanes, they actually began considering something like everything. But let's do a couple of calculations, because it didn't actually have to be a 747. Because after some calculations that I've done, a L-1011 TriStar could have worked, okay? But it definitely would not work properly, since the center of gravity would be always knocking around. So yeah, pretty much their only option was to use a 747. They could have thought about some other things, but all of them, according to my calculations, wouldn't really work properly. And if you're like, the Antonov, that first has its own missions and has been destroyed in the I can't spell Ukrainian, right? Yeah, the Ukrainian war. Yeah, it was destroyed. So their only option was pretty much the 747. Bye, guys. I don't know how to end this outro. It's gonna be weird. Okay, maybe some black stuff,